The Run Lift Mom podcast is brought to you by my efforts as a Zaya Active independent representative and partners Hello Woofy for social media, Red H Nutrition, and Audible. Audible is the newest of this lineup, and if you want to try Audible free, all you've got to do is visit audibletrial.com/runliftmom. Welcome to the Run Lift Mom podcast, where we're talking about running, lifting, and momming, not necessarily in that order. Today, I have a mini-sode for you, and it's also kind of a masterclass. It is about stroller running. You guys, I've had some bosses on this show to talk about stroller running, and I have pulled snippets from their episodes that will serve as tips for you if you are currently a stroller runner or maybe a stroller runner to be. So without further ado, let's talk stroller running. Back in season 1, episode 13, I had two quad moms, Pi Bell and Sherry Armitage, on to talk about their stroller running journeys. One of the things that came up was how to pack for your stroller run. And remember, these are women pushing 54 pounds worth of stroller as well as 4 kids. You've got to listen to this tip. It doesn't matter whether you have 1 or maybe even 4. It's going to help you. Stop though and back up. Like when we say you're running with 4 children. So let's clarify that. Talk to me a little bit. I want people to be able to picture like what these strollers look like. What kind of weight are we talking here? Talk to me a little bit about that.
I know Sherry just weighed hers. Her kids are bigger than mine. I think I've tried to like do the math in my head. It's a long stroller. It looks like a roller coaster.
5 feet long, right?
A sleigh. That's what people keep telling me it looks like. It looks like a sleigh. I don't know. But they're one in back of the other. It's not like 2 and 2 or whatever. And Sherry and I both have the same kind of stroller. And it's 3 wheels. Three wheels. And
the front doesn't swivel, so you have to press down on the handlebar to make it turn, which is loads of fun.
I have no idea. Sherry, do you know how much the stroller actually weighs without kids in it?
So mine weighed, with that little basket, it was like 54.
Wow. Okay, that's what I was guessing. Yeah. My kids are smaller. Someone taught me, I can't even remember who it was, that whenever we go out, you always take lightweight snacks. You don't get the heavy stuff. You're not getting like sauce pouches. You get Pirate's Booty, fruit snacks, things that don't weigh a whole lot, and water, but that's kind of a necessity. And then as little as possible goes in there. I mean, I don't let them take like toys or anything because no, don't add extra weight. The only thing that has to go is Charlie's G-tube fed. So the only thing that has to go is his G-tube crap. And that's the only other stuff that weighs anything.
So it's so different from, we've probably got some mothers of single or even that push a double stroller. It's so different. Like when you're pushing a single stroller, it's like, let's pack all the things to entertain the child. No. And you're saying, hey kid, you can't have applesauce pouches. You get that baggie of Pirate's Booty because it doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, also from season 1, episode 13, we had a good laugh about reactions to mom pushing a stroller with 4 kids. For kicks, I want you guys to hear this, and it's going to be followed by season 1, episode 29 with Anne Marie Cody, who is a Guinness World Record holder. More on her in a minute, but let's listen to how these moms of multiples deal with crowd response. The spectators, I want to know a little bit about other people's reactions to you.
I don't, it interesting. A lot of people would go by it. You get the same comments that Susie, I would bet you get. Oh, wow, you have your hands full. It's like, yes,
Are they all yours?
I'm definitely running, and I'm aware that my hands are very full at the moment. Or it was people would come up and say, "Oh, wait, there's 4." It's like, yeah, I counted them when I was putting them in. It was always those comments that you kind of want to go, no, not right now. Stop talking. Now's not the time. But there were some. I actually liked the race guards, what are they called? The EMTs that like ride through the races with you. They were the most encouraging. My kids are so encouraging when they're not being little jerks. They're really good at like, go faster, mommy. And like when we did it was the Silver Strand half in November, they were actually like smack talking the other runners. Slow down, throwing fruit snacks at people. But I like them. I like them seeing it. I hope that, lead by example kind of thing. And I want them to be, they've got so many things going against them when it comes to their health. I hope that they can, they won't be runners because their lungs, but do something else, hopefully.
We took a nice trip to the seaside, and there was a paved bike path along the Pacific Ocean there, really gorgeous. My mother-in-law was visiting, and I said, hey, to my husband, why don't you and your mom take a walk, and I'm going to try jogging with this thing and just see what happens. And I took off with it along this path with, lots of walkers and bikers. And of course, the first reaction I get is, what is this? This huge stroller, what the heck?
So wait, you didn't have the kids in it? You just took the stroller?
Oh, no, I did have the kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Jump in the deep end, girl. Keep going.
What is going on here? And I got all these reactions, which I was kind of put off by. By now, I'm very used to it. But we went 6 miles, and I was like, gosh, this is so fun.
You would think if you go into the wild with a triple jogging stroller, right, and you're legit running with it, you would think that it's like a Tupac sighting. Okay, y'all? Like people lose their minds.
Yes, then that is what I found out. Now, that was not the fun part for me. I was kind of like, I was a little shy about the whole thing, but just the feeling of pushing this thing, and I still use it. It's a very high quality stroller that has like a smooth glide feeling to it. I understand not all of them feel like that. So even though I'm pushing at this point like 110 pounds, it felt good. And I think part of it is because I used to be a rower. When you row, people think it's like an arm sport, but it's not. You're using your upper legs and your lower back, your core, and you're pushing something heavy, which is a boat. And in this case, I was using a lot of those same muscles to push something heavy. And it was kind of like, oh, I found something new and cool, and it feels really good.
But it's a stroller. Now, your original intention to get into running was maybe to help calm them down a little bit. Did you find on that run that hit the mark, or did it take you guys a little bit of practice?
Oh, yes. Yes. So another motivation, and it remains to this day, is that once we passed the newborn stage, I could not figure out how to get my 3 kids to nap in their cribs simultaneously at home.
Mm-hmm.
You would think I would have this all figured out, but to this day, they just won't do it. But if they're moving, i.e. in the car or in the stroller, I can get them all to take a nap. And that became our lifeline, that stroller.
We talk about finding your why pretty often. And, something I would normally ask a guest is, hey, why not just hire a babysitter or get a treadmill? But you're syncing it right there with your why. It's to get them to nap, you guys. It's for sanity. Awesome.
Yeah. It could be. We have found that babysitters are more successful at getting them to nap than we parents are. But that's really expensive in our area. And it's a win-win thing. Mommy wants to run. The kids need to sleep. I get peace. Like, this is my sanity time now with running with the stroller. I don't care if people laugh at us, say, whoa, what's that? Like, I get peace and quiet and scenery and fresh air, and the kids get a nap, and it's just perfect.
Also from Anne-Marie Cody, I want you guys to hear her talk through some of the challenges associated with stroller running, but then also what running means with her identity and motherhood. Consider this a pep talk, and I want this to be an actionable item for you to think about your why. If you are a mother runner, if you are a stroller runner, I want you to think about why you do it. Get inspired. Anne-Marie Cody from Season 1, Episode 29. Tell me, if you could go back 10 years, what is a piece of advice that you would give yourself?
Yeah, I would tell myself to chill out and have more fun, honestly. I was so focused on my education, my studies, and I almost I enjoyed athletics, rowing, running, but I was so focused on being one thing, which was an astronomer, that I felt like I had to hide the rest. And now I'm not doing that. I'm like, yay, I work at NASA, I run, I'm a mom, and that's all of those things are me. And it's taken me a while to actually show that to people, because it's when you're in scientific research, academics, university culture is such that they want you to be really good at one thing. And if you go out and do other things that you're good at, it's almost like you look distracted. And I latched onto that idea for a while. Now I've realized, no, I am the happiest person when I do all of these things and balance my time well between them, between the family and all that. And I wish I'd figured that out 10 years ago, because it's just so much more enjoyable now.
I hope people are hearing you. I know the listeners of this show, and I think there are a lot of moms that are stuck in that, meaning that their entire identity is in motherhood and they don't make room to enjoy the other things. So I hope they're hearing themselves paralleled in what you're describing with your career there.
Yeah, it's very important to get me time. And I like to tell people, my kids are happy because I put the proverbial oxygen mask on myself first before I put it on them. And, I enjoy running. It's good for them, but it makes me happy, which then makes me a better mom, I think, for it.
Also in Season 1, Episode 52, I had running coach from RunRx, Valerie Hunt, come on to talk about staying injury-free, performance, mechanics as you're running. In a segment, she talked about running behind a stroller and actually how it can improve your form. I know you think that stroller is wrecking your gait. Listen as Valerie explains the rationale behind this, as well as why you need a metronome to improve your running when you're behind a stroller.
But what do we see most often is injuries, and what's unfortunately what happens to the injured runner is they're told to rest or to cross-train instead of, hey, let's figure out why that injury happened, because there's not a standard yet. There's not an agreement to a skill, if you will.
Yeah. So this is a movement that's still developing, but if you can subscribe to wanting to run for health and longevity and pain-free, obviously you can get on the bus with Valerie. Can you speak to, Valerie, since we are talking about the mechanics of running, and I've got a lot of listeners that are maybe behind a stroller, and I've got to imagine that changes mechanics a little bit. Do you mind speaking to that?
Sure. In fact, I've got a really good stroller video I did with someone. But here's the really cool part of running with a stroller is that it really helps you prevent reaching, because the stroller is next to you. You can press your hips forward into the handlebars. And then I would even recommend using a metronome, setting it to 180 and trying to practice that little pull up, 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 up. Obviously, you won't be able to fall as well. You've got a stroller. However, you can strengthen your ability to fall by using that, pressing the hips forward into the the handles, and then your feet are going to naturally pull up a little bit quicker. You're staying more connected, and it's actually much better than trying to extend your arms way out, right? Which is what a lot of us do, and then kick a stride. Try it. You're going to pull your feet up, try the metronome, up, up, up. You're pulling up, up, up on the beat, and then just press your hips forward and go with it. It's a lot of fun.
So what we're looking at as a handicap might actually be helpful. Do you still...
You got to go for the record again.
Do you recommend getting one of those Casio clip-on metronomes, or is there an app that you recommend?
There's a free. Get the free app. I know I'm turning into my dad as I get older, but I tell people, think about all the stuff we already have to get. I'm always like, the less gear, the better.
So it's just called Metronome in the iTunes store.
Yes, yeah. And any metronome works. Set it to a 4/4 count. Up, 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 up. You will start, by the way, if you do this, that's how the brain works, right? Anyone that plays an instrument, they already use metronomes. They're already very familiar with this. So the metronome gets the mind to work with the body. So gives it a rhythm to follow. And it's much better than using music. I'm not telling you not to use music, but when you're just going to try to run a little bit. And the really cool part, guys, where people get lost is this is the best part. You only have to pull enough to break contact with the ground. So the smaller I can make my pull, the better for me. So
it's so awesome to hear Valerie talk through that. We are not in a position to fail. And then also how a simple tool like a metronome can help us. If you are running from behind a stroller, I also want you to think about your form as it stands. And an acronym that we used to teach during Fit for Two, which was a Mommy and Me class that I taught, was WASH. So wash. First, you're going to make sure that your wrists are aligned, that they don't force your shoulders up or down. That's going to depend on the handlebar setting. A stood for abdomen, and so that means that you want to keep your abdomen nice and tight. Your entire trunk and torso should be nice and tight. And then S would be shoulders, meaning they're down. If your wrists are in alignment, that should be easy for you, so to relax those shoulders. And then finally H, that your hips were directly beneath those shoulders, nice and aligned with your body. If you can think about that WASH acronym and then hook up that metronome that Valerie was talking about, you're going to be in a position to win for your running form behind a stroller. Thank you so much for listening to this Mommy Masterclass about stroller running. No matter how many kids you have in that stroller, I want you to remember the tips for packing as well as how to respond to those crowds. And then, of course, that this is not going to ruin your form. It could just help it. If you will go to the show notes, click details, or swipe up, gonna depend on the player you're in, you are going to find a link to a page with all of the full episodes from this Masterclass episode. If you want to hear the full episodes with Pi and Sherry, Anne Marie, or Valerie, you're going to have all of those. And thank you so much for listening. Until I get into your earpiece again, remember, for while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. That's from 1 Timothy 4:8, and this has been the Run Lift Mom podcast. You guys, I'm thrilled to announce a new partner on Run Lift Mom, and that is Audible. I've been an Audible member for over 10 years, and my favorite part, hands down, it's the gift of time. I use the free app to take notes as I'm doing my long run and I hear something fantastic, and you are going to love it. If you want to try Audible free, visit audibletrial.com/runliftmom. That's RUNLIFTMOM. Again, for a free trial, visit audibletrial.com/runliftmom. Hey, Run Lift Mom listeners, you know I'm the mom of 4 kids under age 5, and therefore I am always looking for ways to work smart, not hard. Anchor is the smartest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you why. First of all, there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. But Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you, so then it can be heard on places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a whole lot more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It is quite literally everything you need all in one place. And y'all, it's free. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey, Run Lift Mom listeners, if you are here for business or entrepreneur type topics, I want to let you know I have a new show. It's called Serve Then Sell, and it's available on 10 different channels, including Google, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. The idea here is not to just lump in the business topics with running, lifting, and momming. I want to create more of a separation. I hope you will come hang out with me over there. Again, the name of the show is called Serve Then Sell. Enter that into any search box and you're going to see it come right up. We'll be running, lifting, and momming over here. I hope you'll still hang out. Check in over there if it will be a blessing for you. Thank you for listening to the Run Lift Mom podcast. What started as a passion project in February 2019 now has over 60,000 downloads and over 400 listens each day. It is amazing, and I know it is because of you, dear listener. I want to thank you for your ratings, reviews, and subscriptions. All you have to do is take a screenshot of your rating or your subscription. If you've already done it, clearly this is fair game. Take a screenshot and go to newreleasewednesday.com. That's newreleasewednesday.com. That's going to put you in a drawing for a free Zaya Active outfit, top and bottom piece, valued at over $100. Newreleasewednesday.com. Show me where you have rated and subscribed, and I'm going to get you in that drawing. Thank you so much for making this passion project possible.